Hey everybody, welcome to Lady T's Things That Bling. Yep, you guessed it, I'm Lady T, and today I'm going to show you how I attempted to make a beauty tray or a jewelry tray, but there was a last minute situation which did not let me complete it. But stay tuned to the end and you'll see what happens. All right, here we go. Okay, so as you can see on my desk, I have the epoxy resin and the hardener. I'm just putting my gloves on right now so that I don't get this stuff on my hands. And I have on the apron today because I'm very clumsy sometimes. So that was the tray that I just showed you, the mold for the tray. And it came with two handles. Now, my first mind told me to set the set the handles in the tray while it was drying. But oh, I didn't listen. Not me. So at the end, you'll see why I wish I would have listened to my first mind than trying to do something else. So I'm pouring my resin and my hardener in two separate cups. And I'm just trying to make sure the measurements are precise, because if you don't, there's a whole problem with the resin setting. And I don't even know how this part got. I meant to cut this part out because nobody wants to see me pouring resin. However, I'm just showing you that I do have to pour them in equal parts. And this is Dr. Crafty's resin and hardener. And no, I'm not getting paid for endorsements. I'm just letting you know what I use, and I really like it. It cures quickly. But one thing I found out about this resin is that you definitely have to let it cure in a warm environment. I made the mistake of not doing that, and you'll see later on in the video how flimsy the tray came out. So one thing I keep handy in my craft room is diaper wipes, because just as you saw me wipe the tray off, I wiped it because I had spilled some epoxy in it. You may say, well, what does it matter? Well, it wasn't mixed all the way, and I don't want to do anything to cause any problems. So here I'm using some black mica powder. I love mica powders. If you guys don't know that about me, I just love mica powders. So I poured the mixtures together and mixed them, obviously. And now I'm just taking some of the epoxy mixture and pouring the black into it. I had no rhyme or reason what I was going to do. Actually, I kind of did, but it didn't work out how I wanted it to work out. So anyway, you'll see how it looks at the end. So this is black mica powder that I got from Amazon. Also got the tray from Amazon, as well as the epoxy from Amazon. The cups, I don't know where I got those from. I don't know. I think those are some cups that my husband had around. Nevertheless, you can see my little supply box over there with alcohol ink, which I am going to use. And I didn't quite use enough of the mixture to cover the entire tray. Now these trays look, they're not very deep, but I'm telling you, they use a lot of epoxy resin. They use a lot. So be mindful of that these things take a lot of epoxy resin. So I had to mix some more off camera because I didn't quite have enough. So here I am mixing some more black because you really want to make sure that the edges are covered, and make sure you have enough on there to set. Now I didn't pour my resin all the way to the top, and I'm glad I didn't, because as you'll see somewhere in the footage that it came, when it dried flimsy because I didn't have it in a well heated area. So I'll tell you about that when I get to that part. But now I'm going to be dropping in some alcohol ink, and that's white. And I learned a different technique to use after I did this. I'm probably going to do that video tomorrow or Saturday, Lord willing. So I actually should have put my color in first, and that color was giving me a problem. So I'm looking for something else, because I haven't actually used my alcohol inks in such a long time. A few of them had gotten stuck together, and I'm trying to get that thing loose because I really want to use that color, which is red. I believe that one is magenta. And don't ask me why I used black as my background, but later on you'll see it came out nice. And here I'm really just basically experimenting. So here's my hot gun. I usually use this to blow bubbles, but when I use alcohol ink, I use that to push the ink around so that it can change forms. I don't want it to sit there with those circles in there like that. So I did that so I can change the form of the alcohol ink. As you can see, it's a little powerful heat gun. And now I'm just swirling it around to try to make I don't know what kind of design I was trying to make, y'all. For real, I don't even know what I was doing. I was just doing the most. So as you can see, it's some funky little design in there. I don't even know what it is. But now I'm pouring the round mold, as you can see. It's a geode shaped mold. And guess what, y'all? You see that color I'm putting in there? I don't know what I was thinking, because I should have done it the same color as the big tray so it could be a set. And I don't know what your girl was thinking. I know I was tired though. I was really, really tired when I was doing this. And, you know, I've been under the weather a lot lately, just not feeling myself and feeling unmotivated and feeling like, you know, I just didn't want to do anything. But, you know, that's a part of having lupus, where you're exhausted, you're tired, you're trying to catch up with yourself. And I'm learning that when my body tells me to sit down, then I'm just going to sit down or lay down or sleep or whatever. So here you see me trying to pour some gold flakes in there. Glitter, actually. Not trying to do too much gold on gold. It looks like I'm doing a lot, but I'm not. You'll see. I basically was shaking off the residue from the lid. So there I go again. Miss got to touch everything and swirl it and swivel it. It's actually fun to me to do these things. To create is fun. And if I be truthful, it's not just fun. Sometimes it's a little scary when you don't really have rhyme or reason to what you're doing. Now you see that it's done there. The one on the left, the big one. You see how the colors have set in there? And I'm pouring another coat of resin on top of it. Like I said earlier, I'm glad I didn't fill it all the way up because I didn't have it on the proper setting, and it was very flimsy when I got up to check it. And both of them were actually, and I was kind of upset about it, but I just sat them in the room and turned on a little heater, and they actually set well. They were hard as a rock, especially the round one. So you want to just make sure that when you're doing this, that you have enough epoxy resin, because if you don't, and you can't get your project done if you don't have enough. So now look at the that one. Look how flimsy that is. But what I did was, before I poured the epoxy on there again, I used some nail gel to get the glitter on there. Some nail gel. I should have taken a picture of it to show you what it was, but it was some nail gel that I used to make it come out sparkly like that, because I didn't really like the black, so I was just messing around doing some things. But the way it's set up is good for me. And as you can see, again, it's flimsy, and it shouldn't have been that flimsy, but I didn't turn the heat on that night, and it was cold, so it didn't set right. But baby, when I tell you I put that next layer of epoxy on there, turned the heat on in that little room, had no problems with it. You heard? No problems. I'm just trying to distribute the epoxy on the tray evenly. Even though this epoxy sets well, I just want to make sure all the edges are covered. Now you can see, here we are. Here we are. Hard. Very, very, very hard. I'm so happy though, because I didn't think it was going to get hard. But I had done another project and it came out flimsy as well, and I just counted that as a bust. But my son-in-law told me to pour another, pour some more epoxy over top of it, and it would set for me. So I did what he said. Thank you, Carlos. And I wanted to give a shout out to the genius, Vanessa, and to my sister, Miss Cynthia. I call her Cynthia. And she is the owner of C Fashion. And if you go on Facebook, look up Cynthia C Fashion, and you can see some of the things she's doing. She's doing great work. Go check her out on Facebook. She doesn't have a YouTube page, but she visits mine frequently. Here I am trying to put the handles on this tray. Now they're silver. They came with screws, obviously, so I'm trying to set this the handles up so that I can put them on the tray. Now let me tell you, I had such a hard time trying to get these handles. Excuse me, I didn't have a whole problem with making the holes for the tray. The problem came in when I tried to screw the screws into the handles. The screw would only go to a certain point, as if the screw was too long. And it's not too long because I measured it. It's just something in there preventing them from going. And I was crossing my fingers to see if I could do it right, but I failed. It just didn't work out for me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get some more screws and try it then. I'll let you know how it came out. See, those are the colors that it came out, and I really like it. So once I get the screws on it and get it together, I will take a picture and show you. But that is all. Thank you so much for watching, and stay tuned for the next video. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And please leave me a comment. Okay, as usual, Lady T signing out. God bless.